Yo, 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 it's Ash,
And it's Lucid.
and this is Tripping on Acid.
This is our very first podcast and duo kind of video here. Yeah, this is a big deal. It's the first time we're going to be doing this for the channel, and we're hoping that it's not going to be the last.
Today we're just going to be looking at, one of the biggest franchises out there in gaming right now, Assassin's Creed. If you've been watching our videos, I did a few impression videos for Assassin's Creed Rogue, and, Unity's out there. And if you've been paying attention to the gaming world, you know that they leaked something called Assassin's Creed Rogue. So basically this whole Victory Rogue. Yes. Yeah.
We're just gonna be talking about the whole series in general because there's just been so much going on here. It's turning into just a yearly endeavor, and we're just gonna be discussing about a lot of things because we do it all the time. This is one of the most controversial game franchises that we talk about all the time, and it just never gets boring because we don't know what they're going to do next, and there's just so much potential, but we don't know if they're using that potential.
Or I just finished playing Rogue, and there wasn't much difference between Rogue and Black Flag to say, like, in game mechanics, and there's still those little glitches that make you go like, what the fuck while you're playing. So
All right, okay, shoot, we fell into a little audio glitch there, or that's what we're gonna say happened. But anyways, we're just getting into Ash just recently finished Rogue. So I don't know, man. How do you feel about the game as a whole?
on a whole, I feel like I should have just waited for that shit to be like $20. I mean, it was good, but there wasn't enough story content for me to say it was worth the $60, the $69.99 I spent on it. That being said, I mentioned before that there's a lot of side content, a lot of stuff to do in the game, right? But it doesn't help if there's this whole world for me seeing and explore, but the story is so damn short that by the time I reach the end of it, I hadn't seen all that there was to see. In Black Flag, you have ample time to go through the different little islands and to explore while you're doing the story. Rogue was not like that. It was more just like, you go through a story mission, your memory sequences, and then, okay, you're free roaming. But as you're free roaming, there's a lot of stuff to do, but you're not really focused on that stuff right now because you're doing the story. You want to get through the story, and then, okay, I've learned more about it. Then let me go back and do the other side content and stuff like that, right?
Well, see, here's the thing. When it comes to playing Assassin's Creed games, or just any open world experience, right? They usually throw in a bunch of side content, and of course you're going to have the main story, right? When it's open world, all this side content that you end up, immersing yourself into to try to get to know the world better and just have fun in it, per se. I try to get as much of that done before completing the story as possible, because I don't know about anybody else out there, but after I beat an Assassin's Creed game, I really don't give a shit about going back, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if you feel the same way, but there's just no point for that,
In my opinion, with Assassin's Creed 3, I went back to that after being the story because there's still a lot to do in the frontier. But as I was doing the story, I got stuff done in the frontier, like all those frontier missions, all those hunter missions and stuff. I slowly, as I was going through the story, they're being completed. But with Rogue, as I was going through the story, I did some stuff here and there. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff. So you see the amount of content that's in there. You'd think the story would be longer, but the story was only like 6 sequences, and most Assassin's Creed games have like 9 or 10 sequences. Or
was it 9 or 10? Huh? How much did Assassin's Creed 3 have? What was it?
9 or something.
Was it 9?
9 sequences or something.
Why do I keep thinking of 12? Like 12 sequences of epic missions.
I don't know, but it's usually longer than just 6, right?
Because I know what I was playing through a Black Flag. Now, You're also in the middle of Black Flag.
Yeah.
We didn't beat it, but we played enough to at least talk about it a bit, right? To compare it and do all that other nonsense. But I don't know. They seem to be a lot longer than that. Well, 6 sequences. That's unacceptable. I think when you mentioned this to me before, I told you I felt that it was kind of it seemed like they really phoned in on that. Like what? Okay, this is gonna be the last This is gonna be the last game that we're gonna be making on the Xbox and PS3. But just having that mentality alone, and you're trying to move on to the next gen. I think they wanted to make it as quickly. To make it a quick story so that they can just move on to the next gen version.
Yeah, I get that, but Rogue was that bridging point between that, Unity. So, if you wanted to get like a bit more understanding of what happens before Arnold takes over the role as the assassin.
Yeah.
You played Rogue, and that's what I did, and it was just so short. Like, again, 6 sequences, and they did this thing where they had like broken memories, like memories are out of order basically, and you go into the Animus, and they're like, holy crap, okay, where's Shay? What's Shay doing in this time period? Figure it out. Okay, let's see. Okay, Shay is in Paris. Okay, find out why he's in Paris. Okay, cool, you find out why, but then it goes back, like it backtracks back to where you left off before you left the Animus. So you go back to the younger version of Shay when he's still choosing his path and whatnot, where he wants to go. And then you do a few more missions, and then you come on the Animus to do some present day crap.
Yeah, always that bullshit.
Yeah, and then you go back in, and holy shit, they're out of order again. So find out what Shay's doing in this time period again. And then, there's this friend, Benjamin Franklin. Why the hell is he in Paris? It was really tacked on, basically.
Yeah, it was like a lot of time-lapsing nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could have played through that.
Exactly.
I mean, to be honest with you, they could have just done that with Ezio. But no, they decided to take the time and
show you each point Ezio went through till the end of his journey, basically. And they even made a freaking movie for that guy. Like,
I know, right? Just to end off his sequel. Like, this is done. But I feel it's kind of wasted potential.
Yeah.
Like what? Look, Rogue, you explain it as some guy who's been with the assassin, for so long, only to have his views changed and to see things in a different way, exactly. And then go out and, be a rogue, right? Yeah. Does he become a Templar?
Yeah.
Okay, so he becomes a Templar. We have never seen or played anything like that before in the Assassin's Creed universe.
Like, at the start of 3, we played as Hatham, who was a Templar, but that was only for like a little bit, and then you got thrown into playing as Connor. But the whole idea of Rogue was you're an assassin, and already, you look at your assassin mentors or masters, what the hell they call them in the game. I think it's mentors.
Yeah, I think they're mentors, yeah.
Shay looks at his mentors, and he's like, I don't really see things the way you guys see it. And then,
And then he decides to pursue his quest of, searching for a different life.
Yeah, so, again, Rogue, if you guys watch my impressions video, Rogue happens generally just before the start of the American Revolution. So just before Connor, is even born, basically. So you get to see the homestead, you get to see Achilles in his younger form, I guess, like he's younger.
Yeah.
And you get to see the homestead and all the assassins that Achilles was mentoring and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool that they threw that in. Like, to see the homestead not looking like a piece of shit like when Connor first gets there. See Achilles and all these people there. Yeah. And it's great and it's lively. You even see Adewale from Black Flag, who's obviously much older now, but he's also part of the Brotherhood now, thanks to Edward and wherever they did in Black Flag. Again, we haven't finished playing that yet, so.
And I know he also had his own DLC.
Yeah.
But we didn't really anything that comes to do with DLC now. That's a completely different issue in its own sense. We're not really going to dwell on that, but we don't play it, so we don't know too much about Adewale. Yeah. Unless it explained it at the end of Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Right. But so he's even in there, and he's this masterful assassin as well, taking care of his own shit on his own with his own crew and everything. Mm-hmm. And you get to see all that. But then ultimately Shay goes through that moment where he decides he's gonna defect from the Brotherhood, and he goes after Achilles, and that backfires. And then that's when he starts his role of changing over to a Templar. And you get to see that moment where he's like, I'm done with the assassins. They're fucking up shit. They're not doing what's right. Mm-hmm. I'm done with this. They attempted to kill him. Throughout the whole damn game, they try to kill you once they find out you're still alive. And
yeah, because even then there was quotes when you were making your way through the game, like you would send me messages of stuff that Shay would say, and like killing his own brethren and shit, like once I walked with you and now I'm slaying you, just stupid shit like that. But I don't just the idea, man. Guys, keep in mind, I didn't play this game, and I'm sure many of you were on the speculation of would you or should you do it, but I don't know, man. For me, just hearing about that, about an assassin turned Templar, that could have been fleshed out a whole lot more. This could have been one of the greatest fucking games known to mankind. I know Black Flag was it was kind of going back to the fun of Assassin's Creed, and I know a lot of people liked it, a lot of people hated it. Oh, it's a pirate simulator, that's all it is. Or this is the most fun I've had since Assassin's Creed. Stuff is very polarizing, and I think this is one of those games that it probably could have been another Black Flag, and I don't know if it is.
It's not. In the side, like the mechanics are there, and gameplay is very similar to Black Flag. Even the setup of like your display is the same as Black Flag.
Yeah,
everything is the same as Black Flag. With a few changes here and there to how you upgrade your ship and how you do all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But 6 sequences. If I sat down for a day if I woke up at 7 a.m. and just went all day with that game, I could beat it in a day.
Yeah, like if you're one of those guys who, makes a full-on playthrough of it and, starts off early in the morning and then finishes. Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous.
If I just focus on a story, I would beat it in a day. It wasn't like, Assassin's Creed 2. It wasn't like Brotherhood. It wasn't like any other past Assassin's Creed games where, even if you did the side quest and you're focusing on a story, or if you just did the story first and then went back to side quest, it was really short,
Yeah.
And again, like the ending of the game, this might be a spoiler for you guys, so if you don't want to hear it, we'll put like a little.
Oh, at the beginning of this video, in the title, there's gonna be a slight spoilers, but we'll try to do. We'll put like little times. What are the timestamps and stuff? We'll try to do that.
The ending of Rogue, again, it's your last time going to the Animus, and they tell you, okay, we need to find out what the hell Shay is doing in Paris. So you go and you start the mission, and you're at the Palace of Versailles. And, it's like, okay, sneak in, undetected, and find the assassin with the box of Eden, or whatever the friggin' box is called.
It's always Eden, man. Yeah. Eden's screwing everybody over.
Whatever the box is called, find the person who has it, but do it undetected. So, first of all, how the hell did he even end up here at all? Like, these time lapses don't answer the question of how the hell he ended up here. Like, the last mission that you do, like, the last assassin that you take down is obviously Achilles and his last few assassins, whatever. But
yeah, I mean, sorry to cut you off, but you see, that's what they're doing. This is probably gonna happen where if you want to know more about what happened to Shay, then lucky for you, we got upcoming DLC to purchase, or we got the next installment of Assassin's Creed, and you can find out more. You want to know how he ties his shoes? Well, find out in this. It's like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? It's like they're saving all this bullshit for. It could have been in the game, all right? It could have been so much more.
Because after you're done with Achilles and, like, all that crap, Hatham comes to Shay and he's like, Shay, I want you to take on the mission of finding that box. And Shay's like, it could be anywhere in the world. And Hatham's like, it could take your lifetime to find it. Are you willing to take on that mission for me?
There we go. Giant fucking game that could have happened.
Exactly. You could have...
Oh, my God.
They could have added at least 3 or 4 more sequences of Shay going around the world, fighting the assassins, fending off whatever assassins are still after him or whatever, if there were any left.
No. Usually, if someone he said lifetime, like this could take forever.
Your lifetime, yeah.
So I mean, even then, it could have possibly that could have led maybe to another game or something. Because I know this is the first time that we're hearing of a person like Shay who's switching his ideals and trying to find a new way of rising to power in a sense, or just live life in a new light, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, there could have been more. Perhaps he could have been this brand new master Templar that tries to influence others to join the cause. He could have
been like Hatham,
Hatham, Ezio, he could have tried to find a different kind of wisdom, but only for the Templars. He could have been another Ezio in a sense, right?
Just for the Templars, but no, they cut it off like that, and then you leave the Animus, do your last present day mission, and go back into it, and he's in Paris, and then you do the mission, and the whole time I'm doing the mission, I'm thinking, okay, he's in Paris now. Ultimately, he's probably found who has this box, but how did he get here? Who did he talk to? Who did he get the information from? Who did he kill in the process to get to Paris, to get to where he is? And then again, we'll put a timestamp to say, but the spoiler is, you end up killing Arno's father, who had the box. Now that tells us that Arno's dad was probably with the assassins, because how else is he gonna have the box and, you know, go about it, that shit?
Exactly.
You know, if he was a Templar, you wouldn't have to kill him.
Yeah.
You know, so that brings the question: how did Arno's dad get the box? How did he end up here? You know, so they could have, like you were saying, they could have made it a lot longer, or added more content. Like for fuck's sakes, Ezio got 3 games. 3 fucking games.
No, it's not to say that they were bad. No, that's not what we're saying.
There's so much to Ezio's story that they had to make 3 games for him, right?
Like, okay, to be honest, like if we're gonna go all the way back to Ezio, I mean, I didn't think Revelations wasn't. It didn't have that big oomph that, let's say, Brotherhood had, right? But we learned so much about this character, and we've invested so much time with him that it was one of those games where you knew that this was the end of his journey unless if you watched that little short animation, right? You were going to experience it anyways, right? Just to finish off and conclude Ezio as a character. But it's so much more, man.
Yeah, and then like
what do you really say to that?
Right
Come on.
Before you kill Arnold's dad in Rogue is this point where you see Arnold and Elise, and they're still kids, right? And they're in the garden where they stole the apples at the beginning of Unity, and you're there like...
Plot twist, he's the one that put the apple there. Oh, no.
You're just like, what the hell? Like, really? And then you realize, like, if you're slow or something, you realize what Shay was about to do, you know, and who he was about to kill. And, you know, if you saw the beginning of Unity, then you knew. And that's how, you know, Arno starts his journey. Now, talking about Unity...
Oh, God, Unity.
Oh, God, yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, to point out, neither of us have played Unity for very obvious reasons. I mean, we're not, you know, live and breathe the Creed. Mm-hmm. We're not, you know, religious Assassin's Creed followers, but we do enjoy their games quite a bit. And I own a PS4, and Asch, he's still working his way up to next gen, but even then, you know, I could have bought the game for both of us to experience, you know, whenever he decided to come over, but guys, we all witnessed it. The world witnessed what the fuck happened with Unity.
All the problems with Unity. Like, the story could be solid. It could be great.
And I heard that the story was not too bad. It had its interesting moments and all that, but
the game, not even the gameplay itself, just the problems with Unity is just so...
Like, don't get me wrong. If you didn't encounter any of those problems, you are the golden bunch, man. You got the apple of Eden right now. But you know what I mean? But if majority of the users got screwed over with all these retarded
problems,
oh my God,
faces, floating heads, like
if you haven't even heard of these problems,
when you bought your copy, you didn't get any problems. If a choir didn't sing as you opened up your case,
yeah, I know, right? You're the chosen one.
Exactly, you're the chosen few. And you gotta enjoy that game.
You need to spread the glory of Unity because half the world isn't seeing it, to be honest. But I heard some. I obviously read a bunch of reviews because before I purchase a game, especially if it's this if it's this groundbreaking in terms of problems, I'd like to see if it still provides a good experience in general. And a lot of people have said, yeah, you know, this is one of the higher points in the AC series, aside from performance. But in terms of story, he's interesting, right? And I've seen the beginning of the playthrough, and Arno he's one of those characters that has a vibe to him that says, "Oh, I wanna know a little bit more about this guy. Let's see what he's got." You know,
I feel like with gameplay mechanics of Unity, a lot of people are saying, "Oh man, the fighting sucks. You know, it's too slow." I feel like they went back to the original formula that they had in the first Assassin's Creed, where fighting was not your option. It was either kill your targets using stealth and other means, or run away. That's how you all played the first Assassin's Creed. You weren't trying to brutalize all your enemies and kill off guards and whatnot. No, you had a target. You had to figure out how you're gonna get to that target without being detected, and then how to get the hell out of there to avoid massive fighting, right? That was the first Assassin's Creed in a nutshell.
Exactly.
You know? And then Assassin's Creed 2, they brought in the whole, you know, once you kill a guard, then you just go on a freaking kill streak, you know, without any problems.
See, that's the thing. When it came down to the gameplay, as Assassin's Creed, as the series matured throughout time, they started giving you so much more abilities to be an assassin, like so much more tools and tactics to be a successful assassin, but also
if you want to go in guns blazing, then you could do that as well.
you could do that, but essentially that's what it turned into. For me, when I played Assassin's Creed, right after the first one, and we got more into Ezio and, you know, him being a badass fighter and things like the instant execution, like the kill string could go on, like bringing in that Batman fighting style, you know, the free flow combat. I stopped running.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why would you need to run if you have
you
all these things to kill your enemies now?
And
you know,
I feel like in all the games, they always give you that option of, okay, you can do it like using stealth and other means, or you can just go in guns blazing. And I'm pretty sure all of us just choose guns blazing, right? Because we now have that option where we're not we know we can just take them all out with what we have rather than sneaking around. So I feel like in Unity, they wanted to take that out, so we go back to the roots of Assassin's Creed,
the traditional way of doing things, you know, stalking your opponent from outside, getting used to the patterns, and and finding that golden moment to take them out, right?
You know, like I was just watching a playthrough where the guy I was watching, I think it was Ghost Robo, if you know, whatever, he was running on building, like just avoiding all avoiding all the guards, whatever, and his target was in a building, so he found an open window, went through it, found his way to be directly behind the target, opened the door, killed the guy, and just ran. And I'm like, that's Assassin's Creed. Like, that was the main core of Assassin's Creed.
That's the way an assassin would do it.
Exactly.
Just get in there and get right back out without being seen. Okay, mind you, when Assassin's Creed 1 did those really cool sequences where the leader or your target essentially would be in the center of all this attention, and then you would go in and you would take him out in front of all these people, like, oh God, whoa, oh no, Salim, why? You know, everyone's freaking out, and all of a sudden, all the guards were also there, and they were like, holy shit, what? And then they would start attacking you, and it brought a sense of panic, but it left an impact, right? You felt this weight on your actions, and all that's gone. I can tell you right now, in Assassin's Creed 3, I never resorted to stealth. Nope. I went in and I butchered everyone.
Especially since Connor was like brutal as hell, and you got those little sequences where if two guys are attacking you at the same time and you counter them, it goes into like a little cutscene. We just kill them both at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
I think it also has to deal with the character and how the character's brought up. Connor, like right off the bat, Connor was brought up as this guy who was okay, you know, aside from the 6-hour child play of getting to get watching him grow up throughout the years, when you're getting to Connor as a whole, you know, war-torn upbringing.
Yeah, pretty much just like, trying to save his tribe and he's getting himself mixed up into the fucking American Revolution, for Christ's sake, right? So, I mean, there's circumstances that made me play a certain way. You know, if he was so focused on revenge, I'm gonna treat the situation at hand as revenge. I'm gonna go in there and just kill guys without giving a shit. Whereas, in comparison to you know, Assassin's Creed 1 with Altair, like there was an order. There was a respect for the kill. Exactly.
There was so much what's the word I'm looking for? Like there was like a grace to it.
Yeah.
Would you say
like
a grace?
An art, basically.
Yes, killing was an art. That's exactly how it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There was just a way. There was a code to do things. But when it came down to Assassin's Creed 3, I ran in there with the fucking tomahawk and hacked the guy's neck. You know,
I stuck in it and just.
And I didn't really, hear like the blood. I stood there waiting for the blood curdling to stop, and you know, just wait for the guy to just pass out. But
ragdoll physics.
Yeah, I know, right? When the bodies would do that little glitch and they'd pop up in the air or some nonsense. Yeah, there was something to it, right? But I felt like it was lost as the Assassin's Creeds went on.
Yeah.
Oh God, especially in fucking Assassin's Creed 3. Black Flag's okay.
Black Flag gave you a lot more options to be stealthy. Like,
especially for one, it was in it took place in the Caribbean, right?
yeah,
So I mean,
like
just
that general area.
yeah. So I mean, just all these areas with all the foliage that you could hide in.
Yeah.
You know, all these bushes. You can do things stealthily, or you can run straight to
All
the
the
center and do
trees.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
So it gave you an option. You know,
It gave you more option to be stealthy, right?
yeah, absolutely, and I think it worked. Sometimes I feel, yeah, I'm just gonna run in there and kill him. You know, it's a straight path to fucking hell, and I'm gonna take it. You know, or sometimes if there was enough play space, yeah, I would go around and take out as many guards as I could, disable the alarms, more options. And then here in Unity, from the gameplay that we've seen, they also brought that back, especially with the features of, you know, moving through buildings and stuff. Like that is revolutionary to the series. Oh my god, that's another big thing. You know, we were all waiting for that one, for that crouching and quick descent.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we haven't played it, but just by watching it, we can tell that it adds something to the series.
More realism, more.
Yeah.
Like, you are an assassin. You know?
Okay, and especially with going back to the maneuvering through buildings and upper floors and lower floors and all that shit, that adds to. That's like the modern day foliage.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you know? Like, if there wasn't that much grass around the fucking area,
You're not
or
gonna find fucking haystacks all over the place.
yeah, exactly. You know, then you'll use the interior of the buildings to get around and be an assassin, right? But I don't know. I mean, I also heard that the fighting changed too.
Yeah. They went, like I said, they went back to the old school ways where you wouldn't just kill a guy and then just start killing everyone around you if you didn't take any hits. No, the combo, you'd have to keep doing the combos over and over again, and just, you know, combo one guy, he falls, and go to the next dude, and keep doing combos on him, and then he falls, just like the old way. You know, back in the first one, where if you did get stuck in a fight, you just had to deal with it or run.
Yeah, I remember in Assassin's Creed, the very first one. I mean, there was a reason to run. Like what now? If I chose to run in an Assassin's Creed in an Assassin's Creed game now, that's what I'm trying to say. Then it would be because I'm annoyed of fighting.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight these endless waves of guys anymore. I'm tired of it. I just want to get out of here and move on to the next mission or side content. I want to collect this chest. I don't give a shit. I'm tired of being fucking seen, man.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, wasn't it in? They kept the notoriety system, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm jumping all over the place, but there's just things that are coming out right now, and now that we're talking about it and it's flowing, I just want to get this out. I remember, was it Brotherhood where your notoriety would just constantly be in fucking red state?
Yep.
The whole town would just know who you are. Oh, there he is again. Is anyone gonna stop him?
Oh, come on. Like, what the hell's going on here?
You're stealing apples now? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what your order does? They steal apples now?
But
Son of a bitch.
With Ezio, all his games incorporated. If your notoriety was going up, you just rip down posters, or you bribe some dude, or you kill some official, right?
Even the first one had that too.
Posters or
No, not poster, but you know, you'd have to bribe your heralds and all
yeah.
that. But I mean, notoriety, it was a thing, but they made it annoying in Brotherhood. I remember having to tear down all these posters because every fucking what if you fucking bump into a person, you're fucking instant red.
You climb up a building, they're like, "What's he doing?"
Oh my god!
What? Yeah,
you asshole! You're ruining this town.
What's
you know,
wrong with him?
Like some stupid bullshit, right?
And then in 3, you just didn't give a shit because, you know, playing as Connor, you just did not give a shit about stuff at all.
Oh my god,
maybe you did if you're in a tree and you have a rope dart and you want to hang some dudes, or like you're chilling out in a bush and someone just walks by and you just grab them and stab them. But on a whole, you did not care about stealth. Like, let's be honest.
And I guess as the games went on and they started introducing these other ways to blend in with crowds, I guess the notoriety didn't matter because, well, you were in a fucking gray circle.
Yeah, pretty much.
That pretty much said, oh, nothing to see here.
That's another thing. Just the blending. I like the blending in the first and second one. More so the first one because you look like the scholars in the
what
area.
happened to that?
You know,
oh my god.
Like everything you had on you was subtle. You know, your throwing knives were on your back, but they were subtle. Like it wasn't standing out too much. You had your sword, you had your, and then the hidden blade. That's all you really had, right? You didn't stand
bare
out
bones,
too much.
yeah.
So you could blend in. But the scholars, the second one, they introduced sitting down and, you know, chilling like you're a normal person.
And they also introduced like the courtesans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
so
your dancers, your hired help, whatever, right?
yeah.
But then they took out the whole, like, I know when Ezio was introduced, he didn't look like a scholar at all, and there wasn't anyone in the area to say, hey, he's part of that group. No, but the idea of just walking into a crowd and just that's blending. You stand out, you're the only guy in the crowd with like 2 blades, 2 swords, a gun, a freaking like holster and shit.
Okay, the guy we're looking for and on this poster here has he's got this hood on, and he's got like 3 fucking crossbows on his belt and shit, and he seems to be standing there in that group of people, but
he's gray, so we're not really sure. I mean, he's not gray in the picture.
like, why would he just be standing there in a group of people? That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. It doesn't. When you're looking at that from a gameplay, like I'm sitting here to myself playing the game, thinking, oh my god, the guys that just caught me red-handed for accidentally killing an innocent. My bad. I'm sorry. You're gonna run right by me because you don't see me in this group of normal civilians that are unarmed. They're not wearing hoods.
Exactly.
They're not wearing battle armor, for Christ's sake. How does that work?
So I like in Black Flag that they brought back the hired help, right? Because you obviously don't fucking look like normal people.
But then again, I mean, even in Black Flag, it was an era of pirates. That stuff wasn't uncommon. That was the thing back then. It wasn't a weird thing to see people with swords and shit, because that was part of the time frame that they were in, right? People dressed that way, and you even had other optional costumes that made you look more like the common folk,
More piratey and shit.
Yeah, it made sense for the time, but I mean, when it comes to Brotherhood or Assassin's Creed 3, I'm not too sure about Rogue.
Rogue. Well, once you made the change to Templar, they literally tell you you're free to do whatever you want now. The only thing is, if you kill innocents or if you kill people, bounty hunters will come after you. That's it,
Yeah.
So there's no more need to really do any of that shit. There's no need to blend in. There's no need to hide. Like, you just kill whoever comes up to you. And the whole
You don't get desyncronized for killing innocents anymore?
No. Once you change, like, when you're an assassin, like, when I first got the game, it's like, oh, you can just kill whoever you want now, right? Because I read that somewhere. So when I was still an assassin, I was bored, so I killed an innocent, and it's like, this answer didn't kill an innocent. So I was like, what the okay, what? And I made a change over to Templar.
Like, not even by accident they didn't kill anybody?
But not when they were bored, like, come on.
Yeah, I know, right?
But, you made a change over to Templar, and it's like, okay, now you can do whatever you want. You can kill innocents, you can do whatever. You're just going to get bounty hunters on you. And the whole game, you're being stalked by assassins, right? So common hiding places or places where you blend in, they're all hiding there now. So there's no point in blending in because they've already taken up that spot.
Yeah.
And even if you did blend in or whatever you want to do, they still found you or whatever. They still came out of their spot and found you and tried to kill you. So there's no need to blend in. There's no need to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
Especially now that he no longer has the hood and he just walks around. That's another thing. The cover lied. He doesn't have a hood as a Templar. he just has a mask that he puts on when people use, poison gas or something.
Very, very Aiden Pierce-like, right?
Yeah. Very.
Oh, so otherwise what? It's just, a ponytail?
Yeah, just a ponytail, and he just walks around. Like, maybe if you walked into an undetected area, he'd have a collar, and he'd flip it up, and that was it.
But you see, I think that went with the... I don't know why they showcased him with the hood. Mind you, I didn't see the game. I've seen your impressions video. I've seen that he walks around with, well, maybe a popped collar, right?
Yeah.
And simple ponytail. But if you think about it, I mean, Templars never really did hide their faces. They never really wore the hoods. That wasn't their traditional garb. But in terms of the look, I don't think that bothers me. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a nice look, but I'm just saying, don't advertise that.
Yeah, Ash has got this hood thing going on where every goddamn character needs to wear a hood like him.
It kind of strings back to Altair. Like, you never saw his face. You don't even know what the guy looks like for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was this big sense of, it was mystery.
Yep.
Who is this assassin we were playing? What the hell does he look? Does he have blue eyes? Does he have blue eyes? Does he have green eyes?
Is it brown?
Oh my god.
Well, he's it might be brown.
Oh my god.
Middle Eastern. I don't know, but
just stupid things like I see what you mean. I mean,
I just feel like you're supposed to be this assassin. Altair, even if you tried to pan the camera upward to see his face, if you're curious about it, you just saw eyes. Like you didn't really see the whole what was going on. You just know he had that cut on his lip or whatever, and that was pretty much it. So I felt like
He pretty much looked exactly like
Desmond.
Yeah,
pretty much, but just more.
Let's not even talk
hardened.
about Desmond. Fuck him, man. I swear to God, when they threw in those little segments of Desmond, oh my God, I don't care. I don't care about Desmond. All right, who gives a shit? Okay, at first it was kind of cool. What? This one guy was linked to all this huge lineage of assassins, right? That was cool. But when we started having to play as him through missions, like, oh, we have to do stuff in the real world, and we got to go back to what was that one base in Assassin's Creed 2? It started with an M. I don't know what it was, but
I don't know.
You had to go back there and
Like some villa or some shit.
Yeah. We'll just call it the villa. Fuck it. I know it had another name, a proper name, but. Yeah, just stupid trivial things like that. I don't care. I just wanted to get back into the Animus and just get it going, man.
Exactly.
Even in Black Flag, you don't even know the guy anymore. You're just retrieving back the remnants of deceased Desmond and continuing on from there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't even know the guy's name. You just wander around first-person view, hacking other terminals to get pieces. Who gives a shit? Anyways,
like I know it's trying to bring it closer to the modern day assassins and Templars. Like I know in Rogue, like now you're going around repairing the fucking cores that you hacked and fucked up in the first place. You're now going back and repairing them. But also playing Black Flag, I feel like when you're hacking this stuff and whatever, and giving all the information to Sean and Rebecca who were downstairs. It was clear you were working for the assassins, or at least helping them, right?
yeah.
That's what it felt like. Now, we haven't beat Black Flag yet, so we don't know the ending. But with Rogue, at the ending of the present day, they basically straight up tell you, we are Templars in the modern day, and the assassins still exist today. Now, you have two choices. You're either with us, or you're against us. And the guy pulls out a gun and points it at you, and that's Rogue credits. You're done. So that was the end of Rogue, but it was clear in Rogue that you're now
awesome.
working with the Templars and doing what the Templars wanted. That's why they were so interested in Shay.
Yeah.
Because they knew that somewhere down Shay's path, something happened, and if the information about Shay were to get out to the assassins, it crippled them, right? To know that there was an assassin that changed sides and start working against them.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of Rogue when you worked in the modern day, was fixing those consoles, hacking the stuff that the assassins had, and ultimately going through Shay's life so that when you're done playing as Shay, you could send out the news that, hey, you assassins, you guys didn't know this, but this is a great one, but you guys had an assassin that changed sides, and we know your secrets now.
You dare threaten us? That's not true, right? No, he's lying.
Oh, fucking Shay. God damn it. But yeah, that was basically the reaction, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're trying to bring it closer to this modern day age of assassins, but
Okay.
it feels so useless, to be honest. I don't give a shit.
Okay. I mean, I don't know the damn thing about Unity in terms of story. I know how Arno gets into it and all that shit, but if we look off into, let's say, I know that Rogue was made to tie in. Well, it comes after Black Flag.
Yes. No, it comes before. Wait, fuck. Yeah, it comes after Black Flag.
Okay, so it comes after Black Flag, and it ties into Unity right away.
Yeah.
So it pushes right into the Unity story. But do you think that this could possibly mean a change for the Assassin's Creed series as a whole? Couldn't they do? They could do more with this.
Well, I think that's where victory comes in.
Oh, like fuck, God damn it! Like, I don't know. I mean, there's little. What victory was leaked. I mean, I first heard it from you. You heard it from other sources. Yeah, Ghost Robo. So other sources, right? You just heard about it. When you told me about it, I thought it was like some crazy fucking Assassin's Creed Facebook group or some nonsense. I was like, what the hell's Victory?
Codename Victory.
Yeah, it's like some stupid YouTube video of like fucking, what was it? Cats dressed up in like garbs of assassins and shit. I don't know, just some stupid nonsense. I didn't know what the hell it was until, well, I watched the video for myself just before we did this podcast, and yeah, it's a brand new game that's going to be on next gen. What the hell is this going to be about? Assassins? Is it going to be another Shay incident where he turns Templar?
Say goodbye to Napoleon and the French Revolution. Say hello to Jack the Ripper, and Queen Victoria is a Templar. Holy shit!
Oh my god! Oh man, that'd be. Oh, I don't even know. I think I would play just for that. There was. Oh man, I think when it came to Unity, there was something in there. I think I sent it to you as soon as I seen it. But we'll continue on talking about what little we know about Victory in a second. But I mean, what was it? Throughout time, right? We're always going forward in time with these games now, and I'm worried. I don't want a futuristic Assassin's Creed. Others might want it, but I fucking don't. All right.
Assassins in space.
Fucking Isaac Clarke is a goddamn
assassin.
Oh my god.
The Necromorphs, or whatever the fuck they're called. They're products of the Templars.
Oh my god. Oh god. There's a spinoff right there. We thought of it first. You heard it here on Tripping on Acid. First episode. You heard it here first. Yeah, they just keep going forward in time, and there was situations where this isn't a spoiler in any sense. They released a trailer on it. If you haven't seen it, there's these things called time anomalies, and they're breaches inside the Animus. Like something goes wrong and ends up putting Arno into another time period.
Basically, the future, like way ahead of the French Revolution. I saw the trailer too, and it's like,
I understand there was 3 of them, but we saw the trailer for the first one, and I had instantly mixed feelings. Some people in the comments below of the thread were like, "Oh my god, this is
amazing!
Oh my fucking god!
What the fuck? Why is Arno in a time period with machine guns and helicopters and rocket launchers? What the fuck is going on?
Like a damn jet flies over his head. He's using like a flat gun to shoot it down. Why? Where did this come from?
How do you go from the Phantom Blade to a RC, like whatever fucking gun you want? Like, I don't know.
I'm looking at this from the big picture here. What if are they foreshadowing something? No, I don't want that shit. No way. I don't want the Assassin's Creed series. No.
Using lightsabers and hidden beams of blades.
It turns out like to some fucking Star Wars spinoff or some stupid nonsense. But I mean, if they went, I don't know. I just think we have so many games out right now that are doing this thing with the futuristic nonsense, and I don't want to see any more of it. Now look, Assassin's Creed, they always had these legendary armor sets, right? Like the first one, and I think up until Brotherhood, actually even Revelations, you'd have to collect these artifacts all over the map and bring them back to the central point to unlock this vault that held this unique armor set that you'd always
swords or whatever
you'd always get at the end of the damn game when there's nothing left to do and you're pretty much done with the game. But regardless, there was always that set, right? And each of these seals, they belong to a specific assassin.
Yeah, like in the second one, you go under the villa and there's this whole chamber and there's like 7 assassins, like statues.
Yeah, statues like Cleopatra. I don't know the rest of the names, but there was just a whole line.
On that note, I think in Rogue, when you're, there's all these tablets and shit on the floor. Like, how the fuck do you leave your tablet on the floor? But whatever. And then you hack them. It's like little messages. There's one where Abstergo was trying to like figure out where to take their Abstergo entertainment shit somewhere else, like what other time periods. And they mentioned 3: the French Revolution, Unity, Victorian era, Victoria, Egypt, and Japan.
Yeah.
So,
because I know in the little animated film, they had a Templar who came from China. Everyone said, "Oh my god!" People are still talking about it. Like very few people are talking about it. I don't know if everyone watched it, but a lot of people are going, "Oh, how come they don't do something in, with the Chinese culture,
or Japan, or something
or Egypt?" I know that's the game that I'm thinking of right now. Though, I want that.
It's not like I'm not pulling this on my ass. It's actually a real message that was like between. I forgot their names.
It could just be, like I said before, it could be foreshadowing other games, but I want to go back. That's what made Assassin's Creed, that was a big selling point for me. Going back in time, not learning about all these. I'm not a history fan. Ash knows this. Yeah. He's more into it than I am. So playing as Connor, going through the American Revolution, my thing.
Yeah, I found more fun in that,
but I mean, I want to go back to these ancient civilizations. I find that when stuff is more like, even if they went back to fucking Rome or some nonsense, I love the ancient civilizations. I like that stuff a lot. I don't like the current, stuff that happened 50 years ago. I don't care about any of that. I find the history behind, especially this lineage, this fucking Assassin's Creed, for Christ's sake.
He started out in the 12th century as Altair, living from 11,095 to like friggin' the mid 12,000s.
Where did that take? I can't remember where that took place.
It took place in like Jerusalem and
yes,
a few other cities, right? But it was the main place of it was like the Middle East. The Middle East.
Yeah.
So
something like that. But I mean, I find that there's more. I think there'd be more substance to learning about, because they could have more fun with the story. You can even go earlier past Altair. Because we get brought up for Altair and the order's already there. They got like a building, an organization set up already. But they can go all the way back and say, how did this really start?
It's like two guys sitting in a room having an argument. One guy's like, we need to be free, okay? There needs to be peace. And one guy's like, no, there's got to be order. The father of understanding must guide us.
Free people will cause chaos. And then, the other guy's like, you're wrong.
You know what? Fuck you. We're not friends anymore. I'm done with your shit. Creed.
Don't call me over to skip rocks in the pond. Don't do any of that shit anymore. We're done. Okay? You go your way, I go mine. Some really stupid origin, but there has to be more to it, and I want to know more about that. I don't want to find out more about how it's carried on throughout time. I want to go back.
And again, like these little foreshadowing things in these messages about, let's go back to Egypt or Japan, or let's go back to the French Revolution or whatever.
Oh, Egypt, man, that sounds so badass.
It sounds cool, right?
Just
but
think of it.
Are they actually gonna follow through with an actual game, or are they just gonna do some bullshit and make it like a short cinematic movie or a book or something to read?
Oh my god. I mean, if you love books, then go for it. But I mean, at its heart, Assassin's Creed it's a gaming franchise. I want to play these moments. I don't want to. It's like what the fuck?
I mean,
look at Destiny. They left out half the story for you to go into your fucking companion app and then look at the story there. Why the hell would I want to do that? If they do pursue a franchise like that, like Assassins in Egypt or in Japan, why does it have to be a book? Why can't you just put that into a full-fledged game where we can learn more about
DLC,
other assassins?
Not fucking DLC.
I know.
Like, find out the mystery behind the Japanese assassin or the Egyptian temple. No, I want to fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I don't know what I would do. Now what? Victory.
That takes place in 19th century London. So we're living in the 21st century right now. That means that they have one more century to go through before they're caught up with our time. You know how messed up that is?
I don't want that. I fear for that, man. I from the time anomaly video or reveal in general, a lot of people might like it. This is going in a great direction. I'm so glad Assassin's Creed is pushing forward. No, I want it to go back.
Next, your next Assassin's Creed after Victory is like freaking modern day shit where you make your own assassin. You can choose your own side.
Oh my god! Oh no! You character customization in Assassin's Creed.
You make your own assassin, kind of like Dragon Age, where you make your own character, give them names, and have them choose a side.
Oh my god! Okay, I think okay, that would actually be pretty interesting. That would be new to the Assassin's Creed series. If you had a choice to say at the end of the game. Or not at the end of the game, sorry. At the beginning, you'll get introduced to one side. You'll get introduced to both sides and then have it split off.
And then once you choose a side, you get to customize your character based on that side. So like, what kind of hidden blade do you want? What kind of nice Nike hoodie do you want? How how about a Blue Notes hoodie? That
Oh
that
my
look really-
god, yeah.
Do you want some H&M pant like skinny jeans? How many fanny packs do you want? You know, like
Oh god, yeah. That's bad. Did you want a messenger bag? Because we got a nice selection
it's
of messenger
modern
bags.
day, so we don't have swords for you, but we have these nice pens that turn into knives that you can stab into your. Like,
Oh my fucking god! Oh, I can see that already. I can honestly see that already.
and we don't use pigeons to communicate. You will just use your cell phone, or your headphones will be locked onto a frequency where we'll communicate to you.
We'll text you. We'll text you later. Okay?
yeah,
you want to Skype? FaceTime becomes a big thing inside fucking Unity and shit.
You're there like taking a selfie, and then you get that message like, okay, your target is over there. Use your phone to identify them.
Oh god!
It's no longer eagle vision.
My heart is it's coming to a halt, man. I just thinking about that. That's horror to me. That's true psychological horror. I can't picture that. I don't want that. I hope a lot of you out there have the same mindset as me, and you don't fucking want this for the goddamn series, because I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's gonna work.
They did 12th century. They did 15th century with Ezio.
No.
17th with 16th with
I expect
16th with Edward, and then 17th with Connor and Shay.
Okay, I knew this was gonna happen when they were gonna increase in all this nonsense. I knew it was gonna happen eventually, but I don't want it to. I don't want it to progress any further.
I don't like change.
Yeah, I know, right? But even then, just look at the releases. Like, there's so much Assassin's Creed in the past few years. Oh my god, they're releasing one of these things. It's becoming the Call of Duty of action adventure games, man. Would this be called an action adventure game?
I'd say more of action platforming.
Action platforming, whatever the fuck, whatever you want to call it. What, they're releasing one every year now? Aren't we talking? I don't care if it's in the making for what? How long was Unity in the making for? What, like 4 years? Was it 4 years?
If it was 4 years, then they did not put enough work in that shit.
Okay, mind you, I don't know for sure, but I knew it was under development for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't remember the number, but I know it was being worked on simultaneously as Rogue, right? 'Cause that's why they kind of released in the same time frame.
I think they released them at the same time, just so in the hopes of people playing both of them and playing Rogue first to get that bridging point.
Okay, like releasing one every year, then again releasing 2 Assassin's Creed games on the same day. What the hell? What are you thinking?
They should have released Rogue first. Give that to everyone this holiday season, because it came out in November.
Yeah.
And then wait to bring out Unity.
They should have waited, man. What the fuck? I don't know what the hell happened to Unity. Oh my god.
Because Rogue, they literally just took everything that they had in Black Flag and just transferred it over, smoothed out the edges, and made some things, more fluent and more.
I don't know. Like, I mean, there was nothing wrong with the formula of Assassin's Creed before. Maybe if it was a little similar, like, oh, there's not that much changes. Oh, excuse me. There wasn't too much changes in the gameplay and stuff. But I guess, if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. Mm-hmm. But oh boy, was Unity fucking broken. Oh my god, people were missing faces. Oh my god, I don't know. There's a whole string of things. We didn't play it, so we can't really go into detail as far as all that shit. But I mean, if anyone's seen videos of gameplay, the horrors, man.
I'm not buying that shit until it's $4. Like, even Lucid was with me yesterday when I went to EB Games, and I picked up a game for $4. I don't give a shit how old it is, okay?
Oh, exactly. If you can find Unity at that price right now, I'd say go for it. But aside from that, no way. I don't know. I mean, who knows what they're gonna do with this thing in the future? But it's just, God, is it killing the series? Is it bringing it a new light? I think with all these new next-gen iterations, or, it can give people a chance to get into the Unity series. Maybe people really enjoy having this futuristic setting, or something that's more current, I should say. Not even so much futuristic, because people, when you say futuristic, people think of fucking lightsabers and all this nonsense,
Flying cars.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's more current, it might appeal to more people, but I don't think... I think if you're a true fan, I'm gonna go there. I'm the Templar here. If you're true to your cause,
oh god,
and you know what's best for the world, then you'd see that Assassin's Creed would flourish if we went back in time instead of forward. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this.
I feel like I'd be good with it as long as the story was good. Like,
yes, okay.
I gotta, if it could become
absolutely good point.
Modern day shit, like 21st century shit right now. Like they can throw up a video right now, and it could be 21st century, and I'll look at it and probably have mixed feelings. But as long as the story is good, as long as there's no more first person bullshit when it comes to the modern day stuff, you know, as long as they give me an interesting character with an interesting story plot. They
don't skip out on any plot twists. We don't do time lapses. We get to enjoy the character every step of the way. Not like Connor. Not like that 6 hour. That didn't bother me personally, but you know, for the masses it kind of did. But yeah, you know, without leaving out anything, if we can get an Ezio quality story,
pretty much modern day, and I mean like modernize it so that things that worked in the freaking 12th century don't continue to work in the 21st century. I don't mean like freaking climb up the freaking CN Tower, doing a swan dive, whatever the hell, leap of faith off of it into a haystack.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
That's not modernized. Okay.
I think that's like the trademark thing though. The jumping into the haystack. Assassin's Creed is the only series I know that has that.
Yeah, but you can't.
It's gonna stick true. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
You're not gonna be walking around the streets of Toronto or New York or something and just see haystacks everywhere.
It almost becomes like the comedic relief. Like, oh my god, these points of interest are becoming so tall, and we're jumping into hay. That's what's gonna stop us here. You know,
like maybe if you have like garbage in an alley. Maybe like I could say that makes sense because it's modern day. But if you have hay in an alleyway, 21st century, and you're jumping into that shit, what?
Yeah, I know. Okay, but I mean, we kind of we talked about the whole series as a whole, but I mean, you gave off a lot of your final thoughts and impressions. Well, actually, more so, yeah, I would say final thoughts. But if you could really sum up Rogue and have anything for anybody still on the fence of do I buy it, do I not? Because you know holidays are coming up and shit.
I honestly say wait until the price drops. If you're really invested in stories for Assassin's Creed. Wait until the price drops because the story is way too short to merit $69.99, $70.
Oh my god, are you kidding?
Sorry, $59.99.
Oh shit, I was $60.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh my god, dude, I stopped breathing for a second there.
But wait for the price to drop. If you really want something to invest time in and like story wise, wait for the price to drop. If you're someone who just doesn't give a shit and you like to do millions upon millions of side content, because it's not that much, like, but.
Like you're saying, like if you have a last gen system and you're looking for that Assassin's Creed game and the latest in the series, even then, we didn't beat Black Flag. I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it. I like it a lot. It's one of the high points for me in the series. Yeah. Go out and buy that game. There's no harm done. Or go out and purchase Unity. Again, I mean not Unity. So let me take that back. Ooh, that was a slip of the tongue. Sorry. Rogue. Yes.
But just in my opinion, if you're looking for a story, something to really invest your time in, just wait for the price to drop and then pick it up. But if you want to do all the side content and do all just be a completionist and go for it, story or not. Then go for it. It's still it's a pretty good game.
Okay. How about like a stupid little lighthearted rating here? For the price you paid for it, the full price, how much would you rate Rogue out of 10?
For full price, dude, I'm giving that shit like a 6.5.
Okay, but if you find the game for let's say $20, would it be bang for your buck? How much would you rate? For your buck? Yeah. How much would you rate it then?
Probably give it up to a 7.5.
7.5.
Because it's no longer. It's bang for your buck if you're getting it for $20. But if you're paying full price for it, for 6 sequences, a really short story, and time lapsing, and leaving you with a bunch of fucking questions, no, I'm sorry.
That's just not the optimal experience. All right, guys. I think holy shit, we don't even know how long this video is going on for, or not so much the video, but like the podcast in general. But
if you guys stuck around and listened to the whole thing,
we thank you so much.
Kudos to you.
Kudos to you, guys. Don't be afraid to engage, man.
Comment.
What do you think, about all the things that we talked about in here? Do you agree with me and going back to the roots of Assassin's Creed and going back in time?
Do you agree with me with just letting it happen as long as it's good and fun?
Yeah, I mean, just let us know anything. Give us a love and a like, or just comment, talk to us, guys.
We apologize for this video being podcast, whatever the hell, being so long, we didn't expect it to be, especially for our first episode.
Oh, to be honest, I'm kind of proud. We always talked about doing this for a long time, but for those of you who joined us, thank you so much, man.
Listen to the end. It's great.
Yeah, man. But aside from that, this is the first episode of Tripping on Acid, and I'm Lucid.
I'm Ash.
And we thank you again. And for now, we are signing out.
Later.